and cold. What I liked best, though, was the park. Jacob took me there more than once that first day. There was more of the springy grass that was fun to run around on, and Jacob tossed some sticks for me to pounce on and bring back. Then he pulled a little round thing from his pocket and threw it for me. I chased it down and tried to get my tiny mouth around it. Then a little animal darted past, shaking a strangely fuzzy tail. I dropped the ball immediately and dashed after it. This was much more fun. Obviously, the animal was made for chasing. It zigged and zagged across the grass and headed for a tree. To my astonishment, it went straight up the trunk. I tried it myself and fell over on my back. The animal sat on a high branch and laughed at me as I ran around the trunk, yapping in frustration. Why wouldn't my paws take me up? The little animal had done it so easily. Jacob came to sit beside me and scratch behind my ears. "Don't give up, girl," he told me. "Never give up. Now, I can't keep calling you girl. Ellie." I wondered what he was talking about. It's Swedish for moose. You're a Swedish shepherd now. I knew he was talking to me, so I wagged, even though his words made no real sense. "Ellie, Ellie," he said, and moved a little away from me. "Come, Ellie, come." Pretty soon I started to recognize that word, come. It was one of Jacob's favorites. When he said it, I'd sometimes wander over to see what was going on, and he'd pet me and give me something tasty from his hand. Come meant praise and petting and a treat. So, pretty soon I always showed up for it. But my favorite words from him were, good dog. Good dog always meant he would pet me, rubbing my fur until I wriggled from my toes to my tail with happiness. His hands smelled of oil and his truck, and of papers and other people. Jacob never seemed to get angry about anything, even when my little bladder signaled that I was full and let go all in one rush. When I did manage to get outside before anything happened, he gave me such praise that I decided I'd try to do it as much as possible, since it seemed to please him so much. I wanted to make Jacob happy. I just wasn't sure how. He was patient with me always. He petted me and called me good dog and seemed to like having me nearby. But I could tell that he wasn't happy. When he wasn't taking me out for walks, he mostly sat on the couch. Sometimes he'd turn on the talking box. Sometimes he just sat or lay down flat and looked at the ceiling. If I went over and nuzzled at his hand, he'd rub my ears a little, but never for long. I would sigh and lie down beside him. I thought he'd probably feel better if he let me up on the couch with him, and so would I, but I'd learned that wasn't going to happen. On our first night together, Jacob had watched the noisy box for a while, and then he'd yawned and wandered into the bedroom. I followed him. After he'd undressed, he crawled under the covers on the bed. It looked so comfortable that I immediately went up after him. It was all I could do to leap so high, so I figured I was due for some praising and maybe a treat. Instead, he got out of bed and put me back into the furry circle on the floor. "This is your bed," he told me. "Yours, Ellie." He climbed back into the big bed. I could see he didn't want me to join him up there, but I couldn't understand why. He had so much room. My bed was comfortable, but it was lonely. I was used to sleeping with Mother and my brothers and sisters. This was not at all the same. I whimpered.